At this point, you probably know what the rules to a Nuzlocke are. You can only catch the first Pokemon in an area. If they faint, they're dead forever, and you gotta nickname them so it's sadder when they die. These rules are supposed to make the game harder, but a plain vanilla Nuzlocke is still way too easy. We need something to spice it up. You know what the best spice is? Pain! So I'll be adding Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. In addition to the regular rules, I won't be allowed to use items during battle, level up my Pokemon too much, and battle style will be on set. Now, I'm not exactly a pro Nuzlocker. In fact, I've only attempted a Nuzlocke once, 9 years ago, when I looked like this. Some things that this unfortunate child and I have in common are poor planning skills, a lack of patience, an extremely short attention span, and way more confidence than my abilities warrant. With these Hardcore Nuzlocke rules and my character flaws in place, I bravely or foolishly step into the world of Pokemon Heart Gold. We start off by choosing our starter, a cute little Cyndaquil that I named Charlie, who I then show off to my mom before getting 2 old men's phone numbers and another old man's egg. We fight our rival, Diabetes, for the first time before getting Pokeballs and starting our journey for real. We catch a Pidgey named Onion, a Caterpie named Mildew, fail a Geodude encounter, then engage in a battle of the Joeys, where the superior Joey comes out on top. I just realized that I completely forgot to introduce myself, so hi, I'm Joey. You should subscribe now. Anyway, moving on to Route 31, we encounter another Caterpie. Luckily, I'm playing with Species Clause, which means that if my catchable encounter is a Pokemon in an evolutionary line that I already have, I can re-roll the encounter until I get something new. I use Species Clause here to catch a Bellsprout named Uncle Bryn. We head into Dark Cave to get a Zubat named Patricia! Get Gentle Ben the Ghastly from Sprout Tower, Useless the Rattata from Route 32, and E the Unknown from the Ruins of Elf. In Violet City's Pokemon Center, there's a man named Primo who gives you 1 of 3 eggs depending on how you answer his questions. Your options are a Mareep, a Slugma, or a Wooper. Already had a fire type, and since I failed to catch the Geodude earlier, I don't have anything super effective against flying, so I take a Mareep that I name Mareep Antoinette. In this game, you can get up to 10 Pokemon before you challenge the first gym, which gives you plenty of options to form a strategy. Before we can do that, though, we have to climb to the top of Sprout Tower and beat up the Elder Lee, which we do. Easily. After beating up the Elderly, a favorite pastime of mine, it's time to spend way too long leveling up with performance-enhancing candy and challenge Falkner. My strategy for this fight is to send in Charlie first to take out the Pidgey, then switch to Gentle Ben and curse the Pidgeotto since it won't be able to hit him with Tackle, then finish strong with Mareep Antoinette. Charlie manages to take Pidgey down eventually after missing 5 embers in a row, and the rest of the battle goes perfectly to plan, with Gentle Ben's curse whittling down Pidgeotto's roosts, while Mareep Antoinette chips away with Thundershock. Zephyr badge in hand, we face south to our first major struggle, item management. Where are all my potions? So, it turns out that the totally legitimate method I use to get all my rare candies bugs the medicine pocket, so nothing else shows up properly, and while I'm not allowed to use healing items in battle, I am still allowed to use them between fights. But I'm sure that's something I can fix later.
Oh no!
With my healing items bugged, I can't cure status conditions, and in Generation 4, poison can cause your Pokemon to faint outside of battle. And as of right now, I'm too far from a Pokemon Center to get Onion healed before she dies. But, fortunately for us, Falkner gives you a TM containing the move Roost, which you can use during battle to heal a Pokemon up to half of its HP. So I teach Roost to Onion and send her into battle every now and then until we reach the Pokemon Center. Crisis averted. Barely. At this point, Onion has become something of a religious figure to chat, having rid Violet City of the Bellsprout menace, and now having miraculously defied death, becoming Saint Onion the Undying. Also, during that whole debacle, we caught a Sandshrew that was holding a Quick Claw, so that's pretty cool. Next order of business is kicking Team Rocket out of a well, which we do, and catch a Slowpoke named Lounja in the process. This brings us to gym number 2. Gym itself isn't that difficult being bug-themed, but Bugsy can be a challenge at this point in the game because of his Scyther. Scyther has a base attack stat of 110, which is insanely high for our unevolved Pokemon to deal with, and this particular Scyther has U-Turn, which becomes a 105 base power move after stab. It also has the ability Technician, boosting the power of its quick attack, and Focus Energy, which brings its chance of getting a critical hit from 1 out of 16 to 1 out of 4. Since I failed to catch the Geodude earlier, I don't have anything to reliably one-shot it, and the only Pokemon I have that resists both of its attacking moves is Gentle Ben, but with his subpar defenses and potential usefulness down the line, I don't want to risk losing him here unless absolutely necessary. All things considered, I'm worried about getting through this fight unscathed. Also, editor's note, I tried to find a clip where I talked about my strategy going into this fight, but all I found was this. I will say, to the point that you can't eat the Lord and Savior, technically that's what communion is. So anyway, we lead off with Patricia! To try and prevent Scyther from using U-turn immediately, and manage to get it to use up its Citrus Berry before having to switch out to Gentle Ben. I failed to realize that at some point I got rid of Ben's only attacking move, so I'm forced to use Curse if I want to deal damage, which drains half of Ben's HP. Scyther is forced to switch out with a U-turn, and Patricia is able to take out the Kakuna that only knows Poison Sting. Scyther comes back out, and I bring in Charlie as the only Pokemon with full HP that resists U-turn. Scyther sets up a Focus Energy, and at this point Charlie will die if he gets hit by a crit. I'm forced to weigh Charlie's future potential against the now 25% chance of getting killed by a crit. On one hand, there aren't that many Fire-type encounters in this game, and there are still Steel and Ice-type gyms coming up, so it would be a good idea to keep him alive. On the other hand... Please don't crit. We send out Mareep Antoinette to finish things up, claim the Hive Badge from Bugsy, and move on to mourn Charlie. For the starter to be the first death. And shut up, Anthony. After sleeping off the depression, we come back the next day to fight off diabetes once more, using excellent teamwork from Uncle Bryn, Patricia, and Mareep Antoinette. Heading north from Azalea Town, we enter Ilex Forest, where I spent way too long figuring out a puzzle meant for children. How do I do this again? Yeah. So we'll get you, or wait, I think we do that and then run up and grab it? Confusion. After getting the HM for Cut, we make our way to the Headbutt Guy, which we can use to encounter unique Pokemon in Azalea Town and the route just before it, which I specifically saved my encounter for. Catch an Apom named Springy Sam, or rather, Spingy Sam, since I misspelled it, and the real Pokemon I wanted, a Heracross named Miranda. Heracross has a base stat total of 500, which is on par with Pokemon like Gengar and Houndoom, and should prove to be an asset to the run, especially for the Normal-type gym coming up next. Also on the way to Goldenrod, we catch a Hoot Hoot from Ilex Forest and a Drowsy, and get another old man's phone number. I also fail the Radio Tower's quiz not once, but twice, before finally making it to the gym. Whitney's Miltank has a reputation for being extremely challenging, but it's really only a problem if you don't know it's coming. If you plan properly, this fight is a breeze. Clefairy can be a bit unpredictable with Metronome, but Onion should be able to take care of her no problem. Then Gentle Ben can come in since he's immune to Stomp, and can just use Confuse Ray or Hypnosis, setting up for Miranda to finish up the battle without any issue. Clefairy ends up being a non-issue, but she does use Metronome to set up Reflect, which Miranda comes in to immediately take out with a Brick Break. Miltank comes in, and I decide to try and set up with the Leer to take it out in one hit, which Miranda barely misses out on. I take the opportunity of Whitney healing to switch to Gentle Ben and go for Plan B. I'll Confuse Ray. What? Does her Miltank have Scrappy? It has Scrappy. Okay, now I know that for future runs. And it has a Lumberry. I already knew that. For Plan C, I swap to Mareep Antoinette, get a Lucky Static, and then try and fail to Paraflinch it to death, letting off a Growl before swapping to Sandrew, lowering its accuracy as much as possible, and then sending Miranda back out and praying Miltank doesn't hit her before she can hit 2 Brick Breaks. Whitney is understandably upset after losing to my degenerate strats, and after some consoling, she gives us the Plane Badge, meaning we are now licensed to water fake plants. On the way to Ecruteak City, we get a male and female Nidoran, a Pinsir named Whopper, and a Stantler named Susan, then meet Bill and run back to Goldenrod to get an Eevee that we named Kaiser. Back in Ecruteak, it's once again to battle Diabetes, whose Magnemite paralyzes 3 of my Pokemon before going down. Sure would be nice to have a fire type right about now. Mareep Antoinette manages to break through the Parafusion Flinch strats from Diabetes and gets a couple hits on Croconaw, and Diabetes leaves empty-handed once again. At this point, we may as well call ourselves Insulin. We chase some stray dogs out of a basement, and then it's time for Gym 4. Monty's team consists of a Ghastly, 2 Haunters, and a Gengar, and notably no Misdreavus, the only new ghost type added in this generation. Outside of using Curse and Sucker Punch, none of his Pokemon can hit normal types, so my strategy is to use Patricia to take out his Ghastly and Haunters, then use Susan to get rid of his Gengar's Sucker Punches before swapping to Onion. Ghastly and Haunter go down just as planned, and we swap in Susan to deal with Gengar.
Intimidate, not that it really matters. Yeah, okay. Oh, shoot. Susan does not have a way to damage this, and she's stuck in now.
So I counted, and I ended up having to stall for 53 turns, accounting for turns that Gengar lost to Confusion, Sleep, and Healing, but eventually Gengar struggled to re-death, and we got badge number 4. On the way to Olivine City, we catch Magnemite named Knees, lose an encounter to Entei, and had a quick diabetes jump scare. Then got in some quick Onion worship before moving on to the series of unfortunate events that is the Olivine Lighthouse.
Why am I using... Oh. Let me pay attention. Let me stop speeding up.
Oh no!
Oh. I don't like to think very much.
With our Lord and Savior Onion now dead, we put Patricia in her place and move forward with empty hearts.
Absolutely you cannot have my phone number after that. Mother, what do you want?
After making our way through the lighthouse, we head off to get medicine for a sick Ampharos, catch a Poliwag and a Tentacool on the way to Cyanwood, where we fight Eugene, who hits us with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 consecutive Thunders before we can take out his Electrode. Chuck and the Fighting-type gym are up next, and I'm honestly not that worried about it, since the majority of my remaining Pokemon resist Fighting-type attacks. I set up Toxic Spikes with the newly evolved Walter C, take out Chuck's double-teaming Primeape with an Aerial Ace from Miranda, then take out his Poliwrath with Patricia, securing us the Storm Badge and the useless TM for Focus Punch. We head back to Olivine City to heal the sick Ampharos and get an acute case of crabs, then it's immediately time for the next gym battle. Something to note here is that Jasmine's level cap is 1 level higher than Price's, so if I want to use my Pokemon at their strongest here, I can't use them again until after the next gym. I decide to level my Pokemon up to 33 so I can use them for the upcoming Team Rocket hideout and head into battle. Jasmine has 2 Magnemites, and I plan to use Sandrew, my only ground type, to take them out. Wanna know a fun fact about Sandslash? It learns a single ground type attack at level 33, and that's Sand Tomb, a 15 base power move with 70% accuracy. Almost every single other ground type Pokemon in this game has easy access to Earthquake at that level, even Wooper for God's sake. But we don't have Wooper. We have Sandrew. We take out Jasmine's first Magnemite pretty easily, and she sends out her Steelix. I don't have a great counter for this, and you know that Sandslash is not going to get the job done, so I feel like I have to switch out to someone.
I'll start with Miranda, why not?
But you know I didn't die.
After that way too close call, we swap over to Walter to take out its first health bar, then swap over to Loungia for the second, finishing off Magnemite with Sandrew and getting badge number 6. After letting off some steam at the Pokeathlon, we head out to get some more encounters, including a Machop, another wasted encounter with Entei, a Venonat, the Shuckle from Cyanwood, and a Chinchou from a route we skipped earlier, as well as the Red Gyarados, which we named Xanax. While taking on the annoyingly long Team Rocket hideout, I start to get a little distracted, and, well...
we probably are... What was I doing?
That brings our pointless death counter to 2, which isn't a lot, but it's sad that it happened twice.
Don't forget to save, y'all.
We catch Mario the Electrode and immediately replace Marie Antoinette with Knees before heading off to face Price. This fight was the easiest one yet. We started off with Knees and then just clicked Brick Break with Miranda till we won, and then it's time for Team Rocket again, which we breeze through because this game's levels fluctuate wildly. We make it to the top of the radio tower and render Petrol's entire team useless with Gentle Ben, then head into a local sketchy basement to have another face-off with Diabetes. Walter takes out his Golbat and Miranda takes out his Magnemite after getting paralyzed, and we swap in to deal with Haunter, who immediately traps her with Mean Look. We still outspeed, but just barely aren't able to one-shot with Bite and get hit with a Confuse Ray. She succumbs to Confusion twice in a row and gets taken out by 2 Shadow Balls, unable to switch out to safety. We take out Haunter with Mario, who gets hit by a crit feint attack from Sneasel, so we send in Miranda to take it out. Diabetes then sends out his Feraligatr, and with Miranda paralyzed and at half health, I don't have much faith that it'll be able to take it on safely. I predict a Thrash and send out Gentle Ben to do his best.
Reunite Onion with Uncle Bryn. Listen, we're gonna keep the reverse Spider-Man going. Well, Ben died. Speaking of Spider-Man.
My only real option is to send in Mario and pray that self-destruct takes it out in one hit.
Mario, you weren't with us long, but you served your purpose. And he crit.
After the absolute ravaging that we just received from Diabetes, we have to go rebuild our team. We add Knees, Lounja, and Kaiser to the team, and appoint Miranda as the new team leader. We head back down to the basement to finish cleaning out Team Rocket, and are met with another puzzle made for children.
I don't remember what I'm supposed to do here. It sure wasn't that. I guess it was that.
After saving the radio director and heading back through the tower, we take out Proton and Ariana's teams with ease before facing off against Archer, the new boss of Team Rocket that doesn't show up a single time before or after this encounter. In the final battle against Team Rocket that will determine the fate of the Johto region, I send in Walter C and click Surf 4 times. Moving swiftly along from that minor annoyance, we evolve Kaiser into an Umbreon, giving me an excuse to show off my holographic evolution posters. Then head off to Blackthorn City, catching a Tangela named Rapunzelmo and a Jinx named Madonna on the way. As you might expect, the final gym is the toughest challenge that we've faced so far. And not just because my child brain couldn't figure out yet another puzzle.
Oh no, this puzzle requires me to use more than 2 brain cells. Hold on. Oops. Every day I'm struggling.
Blair specializes in dragon types and also Gyarados, which can hit every type for neutral stab boosted damage except for steel types, and I only have one of those. Even so, Kingdra can still hit it with a stab Hydro Pump. On top of that, Claire's Kingdra is only weak to dragon type moves, which we don't have access to outside of a 40 base power twister on our physical attacking Gyarados. My plan is to send in the Knees to take out Gyarados, then swap to Walter C against her Dragonair with Fire Blast, set up Toxic Spikes, and then stall down her Kingdra with Kaiser, who now has Protect, Attract, and Sand Attack. Knees takes out Gyarados as planned, but not before losing 40 HP to Dragon Rage. We swap in Walter C against the predicted Fire Blast, but it misses, and Walter is able to set up both layers of Toxic Spikes, managing to take down the first Dragonair and most of the second, thanks to Claire missing almost every single attack. Knees comes back in to finish off the second after it gets healed, avoiding 2 more attacks, and then Claire sends in her Kingdra. I'm predicting a Hydro Pump, so I send in the newly evolved Lounja to resist it, who immediately dies to a crit Dragon Pulse while I was talking to chat.
Just wondered when I was starting the stream, or right now, or well, I guess 20 minutes ago. Oh. Well. At least it wasn't Miranda.
This is unfortunate, but it did give us a clean switch into Umbreon to start stalling with Attract and Protect and waiting for the poison to run its course.
As long as she doesn't crit Hyper Beam right now. Oh. Now that changes things a little bit.
So I may have forgotten that she had a full restore and not just Hyper Potions, but I do still have Sand Attack, which I used to bring her down to -6 accuracy. At which point I feel good about swapping into Miranda.
Now I feel good about Miranda. Yeah, Claire is not happy. I mean, when she rage quits later, it's understandable. Unless she crits, I think we're fine. I'm gonna go for a little bit. You have a feeling Miranda's gonna die? Listen, just because every time I've said someone is the new team leader, they've died that episode, doesn't mean it's gonna happen today. You know what? Let's do some math. Let's do some math real quick. I have a degree in mathematics. So she was -6 accuracy on a hyper beam, and she got a crit. If my math is correct, that's a 1.32% chance of her hitting and getting a crit on Miranda. Which, to be fair, she did miss like 7 moves without any accuracy drops. But also, not to be fair, Claire, I hate you, now and forever. Winter the Noctowl comes in to finish her off, and Claire storms off to Dragon's Den while we head out to mourn our losses. I'm not gonna tell her I hope she dies in the whirlpools in the cave, even though that might be how I'm feeling. I'm not gonna say that part out loud. Okay, who died first? Lounja, you were just kinda there. You were just chillin'. You died to a crit, I didn't care that much. I, tried to pretend to be sad just for your sake. But, you would have been nice, but I'm not that devastated. Anyway, Miranda, your death was meaningless. Claire clearly was using an aimbot, and I'm gonna go fight her in a cave about it. You will be sorely missed. I throw Madonna and Whopper onto the team, then head in to confront a murderer and get a Dratini that we can't safely use until much, much later. Before heading to the Pokemon League, we fly back to New Barktown to get a Master Ball from the Professor, then head off to Ekrutik to catch Ho-Oh. I'm not going to use Ho-Oh in this run, but at this point chat was obsessed with the idea of Onion being reincarnated as the rotisserie chicken of legend, so I really had no choice. This whole ordeal ended up being a serious tactical mistake, since the fight against the Kimono Girls went like this. Is that another crit? We catch the Ho-Oh, who we name Onion Reba since Onion Reborn won't fit, and then head off to the Pokemon League, catching a Goldeen, Quagsire, and Graveler on the way. We have one last fight against Diabetes, which goes perfectly fine, except that I decide to kill off Useless, who has been relegated to HM Slave since chat has accused him of cursing our team, and I had no reason not to believe that. With Diabetes overcome for good, it's time to start preparing for the Elite Four, the final hurdle standing between us and victory. The Elite Four is a series of incredibly strong Pokemon trainers that you have to defeat one after the other without being able to return to the Pokemon Center to swap out your Pokemon. For us, this means that if I lose a Pokemon in the first battle, I'll be down a Pokemon for the next 3 Elite Four members as well as the champion. Unlike the gym leader battles, I won't be able to just prepare a team that hard counters one type. Team composition will make or break the run. I keep Whopper on the team to combat Karen's Dark types and some of Will's Psychic types, Kaiser for the rest of those Psychic types as well as overall bulk, Walter C for Toxic Spikes and other potential uses, Patrician to the Hypno to set up Reflect and to combat Bruno's fighting types, Gerbert the Lantern for Confuse Ray and Electric type Stab against Lance's Flying type team, Nana the Nidoqueen for Earthquake Stab, Fire Blast to use against Koga's Poison type team, and as the sole member of the team who can learn Ice Beam. I also give Nana the Never Melt Ice to boost Ice Beam's power. Before heading in to claim victory or die trying, it's time for one last funeral. RIP to Charlie, our starter, who died to a quick attack focus energy crit from a Scyther. We did the calculation, we thought we could survive without you, and we did, but we miss you. Then, of course, Onion being the second death is wild to me. RIP Onion. Died to a crit because I wasn't paying attention. And then Mareep Antoinette, our Ampharos, also died to didn't die to a crit, died because I wasn't paying attention. Patricia! The next 3 unfortunately fell to our rival Diabetes. Patricia, absolutely nothing we could do, got mean looked and confused raid, and just lost every gamble. Gentle Ben, we gambled on a confuse raid, didn't pay off, and then Mario had to self-destruct to get us out of that. Mario was the one who, did his job. absolutely did his job. We have to respect that. To have died to my ignorance, listen. That is 100% true. We got our Slowbro that I kind of didn't care about. That one died to a crit from Claire's Kingdra. Also dying to a crit from Claire's Kingdra, Miranda. It was at -6 accuracy, got a critical Hyper Beam, which was just absolutely horrible. Useless actually isn't dead, because I forgot to use him in the rival battle to get him killed. But anyway, our knees got kneecapped from I think it was a crit Surf from the Kimono Girls Vaporeon. The Kimono Girls were just critting every single attack. It was rough. With that out of the way, I think we are ready to go into the Elite Four. The Psychic-type user Will is up first, and I lead off with Walter C. Walter is weak to Psychic-type, but according to the damage calculations I did, he will survive 1 Psychic from Xatu as long as it doesn't crit. Xatu goes for Confuse Ray anyway, and Walter breaks through, setting up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes and surviving the Psychic just as we calculated. Look at that. Easy. Easy! We swap into Kaiser to take care of Xatu and Executor, switching to Gerbert when he gets low to take out Jinx and Slowbro, bringing Will to his last Xatu. Xatu's Psychic does more than I'm comfortable with, so I swap Gerber out for Patrician, since I don't want to lose him this early to a high roll or a crit. I think we're good here. Ominous Wind, it's not stab, so it shouldn't do too much. A crit, we lived a crit, it's okay. With the Omni Boost from Ominous Wind, Xatu now outspeeds every member of my team and can take out most of them in a single hit at their remaining HP totals. I'm facing a complete loss here if I can't figure out a way to take Xatu down. I think this might be where Walter dies. Sorry, Walter. But he full restored. That is so much worse. Do we lose to Will? Do we lose to the first Elite Four member? Well, there's Walter gone like we knew. Am I gonna have to restart the entire run today? That did so little! That did nothing! We need to crit. Crit. Yes! So that was rough. Like I said, Walter wasn't going to be the most useful Pokemon for the rest of the run, but it would have been nice to have the option to sacrifice him in a future battle. Regardless, we move on to face Koga, the Poison-type specialist. Poison's weaknesses are Ground and Psychic, but the majority of his team is weak to Fire, so I lead off with Nana, who knows Fire Blast, and she easily takes out Ariados. Patrician takes out the Venomoth, and I swap in Kaiser in case the Fortress tries to go for Explosion, but eventually I just send in Nana to take it out with Fire Blast. Crobat comes out next, and it starts setting up with Double Team, avoiding 2 Ice Beams in a row and taking Nana down to dangerously low health. Miranda and Knees were our only Pokemon that had moves that were guaranteed to hit, and they both died. So I can do nothing but hope and pray that I'm able to connect enough hits to take Crobat down before it kills the rest of my team. You may remember that one of the hardcore rules is that I can't level up my Pokemon past a level cap, which increases with each Elite Four member. I, being the person that I am, forgot to level up my Pokemon after fighting Will, so I already am at a disadvantage here. I decide that Whopper's the most expendable and send her in to try, but she dies to a Wing Attack. I send in Kaiser next to try and lower Crobat's accuracy with Sand Attack, which does connect once, but Kaiser dies in the end without doing much else. Patrician comes in and takes it out with a Psybeam, then takes out Muck with 3 more Psybeams after avoiding 2 Gunk Shots, leaving us 3 Pokemon down with 3 battles to go. At this point I know I'm not going to make it all the way, but I feel like I might be able to at least beat Bruno and Karen. I send Nana out first to set up Toxic Spikes, and then... I didn't level them up, did I? I got distracted immediately.
We gave it a valiant effort. Nana is able to set up toxic spikes, and Patrician sets up a reflect, taking out Hitmon, Top, and Onyx. Nana comes back in and sacrifices herself to take down Machamp, and Gerbert takes down Hitmonchan, but falls to a crit high jump kick, and it's all up to Patrician. Oh, I'm warned about high jump kick. Thank you so much, Gerbert, or Patrician. Yeah, okay. It might be over. Well, we may not have won, but we made it pretty far for my first attempt at a Hardcore Nuzlocke. We got way farther than I expected, and I impressed myself so much that I immediately started a second run. With the experience from the first run under our belt, the second went a lot smoother and a lot faster. We took a Totodile named Todrick this time to force our rival into choosing Chikorita, named our rival Anxiety, and got a few different encounters. Onion got a new vessel in the shape of a Spearow, we got a Geodude named Dorito John in Dark Cave, and a Slugma named Jolene from the Violet City Egg. Dorito John and Jolene are able to trivialize the first two gyms, and we get another Heracross, this time named Diana. R.I.P. Miranda. Diana easily takes out Whitney's team, and Todrick and Onion take out Morty without taking a single point of damage. We continue without any major struggles until this run's battle with Chuck. Alright, Chuck. We start off with Calamari, this run's Tentacruel, setting up toxic spikes while Primeape sets up with Double Team. I switch into Diana to use Aerial Ace, but she gets hit by a crit Rock Slide and then flinched the next turn. I swap over to Haunter, this time named after my friend Coda, and... Coda, cover your ears. I don't know if I need Coda for anything else, really. So I might Shadow Punch to get a clean switch in for Onion, who also has Aerial Ace. And it's faster anyway. Oh, guess who forgot to level up their Pokemon? Oops. Anyway, the rest of the battle is uneventful.
Liza Minnelli, lies.
And we head to the Pokemon Center to say our heartfelt goodbyes to our lost friend. We're no longer deathless, unfortunately. R.I.P. Coda. Did you do your job? Kind of. Hello, Mother. My friend has died. Well, R.I.P. You'll probably be missed by someone. Jasmine's gym is a piece of cake thanks to Dorito John and Todrick. Price is taken out by Elbowie the Magneton and Diana. Silas the Eevee dies to Anxiety. And Archer's Houndoom loses to Todrick, leading us right onto Ice Path, where we catch a Swinub named Kiwi. This brings us back to Claire, and I'll be damned if I let what happened last run happen again. We lead off with Calamari to set up Toxic Spikes again, and swap into Elbowie to take out Gyarados, then switch out to Todrick to take out the Dragonairs. She sends out Kingdra, and once again, I don't have a solid plan for this. I don't think we survive a Hyper Beam. I need to save Todrick. If I'm going to sacrifice someone, it's going to be Calamari. Oh, Sevens. You did your job, Calamari, and you did it well. And it was a crit anyway. This is where the stall strats come in. I think I attract here. If she gets a crit, we're just done. Okay, no crit. I think the Toxic takes it out this time. No! Be faster. Okay, and the full restore. Okay, we were so close. I should have just wing attacked instead of protecting, but I was scared. That's 3 sand attacks now. 4, 5, number 6. Now we wing attack. Okay, this also worked this time. We're good. We're good. No crit Hyper Beams. We did it, Joe. Scuffing our way right along, I have not learned my lesson and immediately go to the Kimono Girls again. But this time, things go pretty smoothly until we're faced with the final Kimono Girl. And she has Vaporeon. This is the Vaporeon that killed our knees. Onion hasn't had a chance to shine yet, so we'll go to Onion. Okay, we'll go to Todrick. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I think Diana's our only chance. Okay, Diana should be fine. And she's faster. She does have a minus attack nature, which sucks. As much as I hate it, I think we sacrifice Diana here. Unless she gets a high roll.
Yeah, it's... We hate to see it. What Pokemon do you have? Well, I don't have a Heracross anymore, that's for sure. After we kind of mourned the loss of Diana. R.I.P. Diana. You were kinda good, not as good as the other Heracross in the other run, but we did lose Wonder Woman. She wasn't that wonderful, unfortunately. We go catch Ho-Oh once again and head out to the Pokemon League, this time with much more viable Pokemon. On the way, I stop paying attention to my team's levels, and Todrick grows to level 43, which is one level above the level cap for Will. Yeah, it's 42. Oh no, so that means I can't use Todrick for it. Oopsie, I really should have been paying attention to that. Stop that. Stop it. Ooh, Blastoise. I have made a series of unfortunate mistakes. Because I can't use Todrick because he's above the level cap. Oops. This is where we sacrifice Dorito John. Yeah. Crisis averted. Okay, everyone remember Dorito John is dead, even though he's about to be alive. You know what? I know how to remind us that Dorito John is dead. Anyway. After swapping out our team for members we can actually use, we make our way through Victory Road and fight Anxiety one last time before preparing for the Elite Four. This time I spend a lot more time preparing. We bring Kiwi to the move reminder to teach her Ancient Power, evolving her into a Mamoswine, max out Patricia's Friendship and evolve her into a Crobat, and grind off screen in the game corner for TMs. Our final team consists of Kiwi, who has a plus attack nature, which is absolutely insane, Ice Shard for priority and Earthquake for general offense, Onion with Aerial Ace to avoid repeating the Koga Crobat fiasco and U-Turn for good damage against Will's Psychic types, as well as Fly for massive damage against Bruno. We have Jolene with Flamethrower to take on Koga's Bug types and Ancient Power for Lance's Flying types, Elbowie for Electric type coverage, Thunderwave for paralysis and generally good defensive typing, Todrick for his all-around decent stats and coverage moves. I eventually give him Iron Tail for Fairy type coverage, don't ask me why I thought I needed that, and Patricia 2 as a speedy Confuse Ray user and a safe switch in against Bruno's fighting type Pokemon since 3 of my 6 are weak to fighting. We make one last stop at the Pokemart to grab a Choice Scarf from Mom, which opens up some nice options with Todrick, and head into the Pokemon League. Facing off against Will once again, we lead with Kiwi taking out Xatu 1, then swap to Elbowie for Slowbro and Jinx, try and fail to take out Exeggutor with Jolene, taking it out with Onion instead, using a tactical U-turn to bring out Elbowie to face Xatu on the first turn, and take it out with a Thunderbolt. I remember to level my Pokemon up this time and move right along to Koga. I lead with Jolene, who immediately gets an Omni Boost from Ancient Power and burns through Ariados, Fortress, and Venomoth. Muck and Crobat try to hide from Jolene's fury, but they meet the same fate as the others and are burned to ash. If only Koga had listened to Dolly Parton's dire warnings, he and his team may have survived. Before heading off to fight Bruno, I set up Jolene, Elbowie, and Kiwi with Chople Berries that we got from Mom in case I'm forced to use them, then put Onion in the lead and head into the next chamber. Onion leads off with Fly, taking out Hitmontop before it can counter. Hitmonchan comes in next, and Onion takes it out with Fly as well. Next up is Onix, so I U-turn into Todrick, who takes it out with a Waterfall. And then, Machamp comes in. Machamp has a move called Revenge that doubles in power if you take damage from the opponent before you use it, and that, combined with Sandstorm, could take out Todrick in one hit if we're not careful. I decide to swap out to Patricia 2 for the 4x resistance, knowing that she will die to a Rock Slide. She gets one extra turn to live from Confuse Ray, and then her moment arrives.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So anyway, we beat Bruno and head off to fight Karen. The only real things to worry about here are her Gengar and her Houndoom. Gengar's Destiny Bond can rob you of a Pokemon if you're not paying close enough attention or if it outspeeds you, and if her Houndoom sets up a nasty plot, it can 1 or 2 shot each one of my Pokemon. Luckily, Patricia too outspeeds Gengar and can simply choose not to attack if it uses Destiny Bond, and we have Todrick with the Choice Scarf to outspeed and one-shot Houndoom. I forgot to give him the Choice Scarf. I send in Jolene to use Yawn, then swap to Elbowie to resist the now boosted Dark Pulse and try to take her out before she can wake up. The first Thunderbolt takes her below half, so I hope against hope that she doesn't get a second turn wake up and go for the second. Okay. Now, please don't get a low roll. And Karen's probably gonna use a full restore. Oh, she didn't, and is still asleep. We did it. Okay. We did it. We live. Whew. We got lucky. The rest of Karen's team is trivial, and we move on to face Lance with no time to grieve our starter. I think this is where we try our best and maybe not succeed. This is the farthest we've gotten. All right. Intimidate, we don't care. I should have used an Ether on Thunderbolt. Okay, we're fine. This should one-shot. Yeah, okay. Why do I hear boss music? Go into Jolene. Jolene tanks the Fire Fang. That was a crit. Wow. Ancient Power? Do we get... It went for Air Slash instead of Shadow Claw. Interesting. Don't flinch. Okay. Do we get the boost? I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. We got the boost! Okay. Send out Aerodactyl. It's going to go for Rock Slide. I think with the boost, we might survive. We can use Recover. Okay, we survived with the boost. But she flinched! Oh, that is so unfortunate. See, we needed Todrick here. Is Elbowie gonna be able to take 2 hits? I sure hope so. Went for Crunch, interesting. Don't get a defense trap, okay. I think we Thunder Wave here. Okay. And hopefully it stays paralyzed. Okay. It used Outrage. Okay, that's fine. We're down to the 3 Dragonites, right? Okay. Now we're talking. It's going for Outrage again. We hate to see it. Okay. Flinch, please. You did your job, Patricia. You got the one confuse off. Now, can Kiwi take 3 Dragonites in a row? We have the Never Melt Ice. It's a physical attacker. We have priority. Okay. Danger level high, indeed. The question is, do we survive a Hyper Beam? I'm gonna go for Ice Shard anyway. I don't want it to hit a Dragon Rush and then flinch me. Okay. Come on, Kiwi. Oh? Oh, we just one-shot. Oh, we just one-shot. We love to see that. We just one-shot again? Come on, Kiwi. And we one-shot again. Okay. We did it. We did it, Joe. Oh, that was so... that was so stressful at the end for no reason. So that does mean I didn't need to sacrifice Patricia too. Alright, Hall of Fame. We made it. R.I.P. knees. Or elbowy, sorry, oops. R.I.P. elbowy. The GOAT, Jolene. R.I.P. Todrick. Oh, who killed Diana? I don't remember. R.I.P. or no, not R.I.P. Kiwi. Kiwi the GOAT. R.I.P. Patricia, you didn't need to die. That's kind of on me. Yeah, that's my bad. And Onion, of course, the GOAT. The root, the vegetable, the legend. Oh, all the dead members are on one half. But we did it! With our team honored, it's finally time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the credits. Probably after the credits. The credits in this game are really cute. Let's watch the credits. I know, I'm just sad about Todrick seeing that Totodile. Hello, anxiety. All the baby Pokemon are so adorable. Oh, wait. I found a bunch of my Pokemon plushies in my basement the other day, so we can all watch together. We got Piplup, we got Sudowoodo for some reason. I don't know why someone bought me that. We got Pachirisu, of course. We got Oshawott, best boy. We got Jirachi, we got Cherim, and we got Pikachu. The end. We did it, guys. The credits are so good. You didn't think that was actually the end, did you? We still have 8 more gym leaders to fight and 1 more champion to overcome. So after a short break, I gather my team, head aboard the SS Anne, and immediately lose to Erica because I was overconfident. Well,